What's going on, guys? It's Tristan. Some of you guys know me, some of you don't. Regardless, this video is going to give you a ton of value if you want to get into the best shape of your life. I'm going to show you guys how I went from a pretty high level athlete in high school, very respectable, good physique, and I threw it all away after I graduated. I got into the worst shape of my life, and it was all to make as much money as possible. I sacrificed my health. And I'm going to show you guys how I redeemed myself, how I was able to get back into the best shape of my life and beyond, simultaneously working 8+ hours a day, and how you guys can use these high leverage habits to also achieve your dream physique. So this video is going to be super informational. It's about 30 minutes long. So if you can't stick through a 30-minute long video, you probably don't have what it takes to level up your mindset and transform your physique anyways. So if you do and you watch the entire video, I promise you, you're going to get a ton of value out of this video. So grab a pen, grab a pad, take some notes, and I hope you guys enjoy. Yo, what's going on, guys? This is going to be a super special video. I'm going to give you guys a ton of value in this video because I'm breaking down my entire transformation and how I went from really this average physique. I was not happy with how I looked. I had low motivation, low energy. And despite how hard I tried to get into better shape, because I was trying really hard, I was trying to eat good, go to the gym, I just could not see results that I knew that I should have been seeing. And that's because I was focusing on the wrong things. And so fast forward to today, I learned what those things that I should put effort into that will actually give me results are, so I can put in less effort and see more results. And I know that's crazy, but I have my dream physique. I'm able to go to the gym less. I don't have to meticulously track my macros. I don't have to worry about what I'm eating at a certain restaurant because I focused on the right things. So this is exactly how I transform my average physique, my average mindset into a top 1% in 90 days. I was able to build muscle and lose fat simultaneously, all while working a full-time job behind a desk, right? I was doing sales calls for 8 hours a day. You guys can't make the excuse that you don't have time. I'm going to show you guys exactly how I was able to put in less effort into the gym and my nutrition and see more results, because it's not about how hard you work, it's about what you're working hard on, all right? So without further ado, let's get into the video. I'm going to break down kind of how I got to this point, because this is kind of my biggest L that I've ever had, is going from this physique in high school. I could have gone to college for sports. I could have gone for swimming or track, but I knew that school wasn't for me, and I knew I wanted to just work and make money. So what ended up happening was I got a desk job, and that led me to have a desk bod because I stopped working out. I started focusing on making money, and I neglected my health. And all the guys that I worked with, they had desk bods because you're sitting at a desk for 8 hours, and I was doing sales calls for an investment company. And yeah, I made money, but I looked in the mirror and I wasn't happy with myself. I remember taking like pictures of my physique, and I was just like, okay, how did I go from this to this? It really helped hurt my self-confidence. And so this is when I got into dieting. So I realized, okay, I got to make a change. I have to get back into working out. I started the carnivore diet, which I had heard good things, and this led me down the diet rabbit hole. And I started posting YouTube videos on my transformation on the carnivore diet. And that was one of my first YouTube videos that I posted. And so what I started doing was I started lifting hard again. I started lifting 6 to 7 times a week. I tried all these diets. I tried all these workout programs. I trained MMA, so Muay Thai. That was 4 to 5 times a week. But the thing is, you look at this physique. Does this look like somebody who's working out 2+ hours a day? No, it does not at all. And I was so confused why I was putting in all this effort and I was seeing progress, but it was minimal progress. It's not what I should have been seeing. I felt tired. I felt overworked. I felt like all my effort was going nowhere, and I wasn't seeing the results that I knew I should have been, because this wasn't reflective of this. And the thing was, this stuff works, but it's not sustainable. I couldn't stick to it. I would go and be sticking to this stuff, and then I'd skip a workout, and then I'd have a bad week, and then I'd eat out, and then it'd just fall down the rabbit hole. It wasn't sustainable to do all this stuff. And so through trial and error, I eventually found the trifecta for optimal training, nutrition, and accountability, because I saw these guys, they were working out less than me, they were putting in less effort, but they looked way better than me, they were more athletic, and I thought it was my genetics or something like that, which actually it wasn't. It was just I was focusing on the wrong things. And so through trial and error, I figured out what the correct things are that I need to focus on. And I found the system that I could actually put in less effort and work out less and see more results. And that's what I'm going to share with you guys today. But before I get into things, who is this for? So if you're training and trying to eat clean, but you still have an average physique or a below average physique, then this is for you. I'm going to show you how you can break through that. If you are spinning your wheels trying to reach your fitness goals, you feel plateaued, but you don't know what you're actually messing up, I'm going to show you what you are. All right, this is for you. If you're achieving financial success, if you're making money, your bank account's going up, but at the cost of your health and feeling less confident in your physical image, you look in the mirror and you're not happy. I was in that exact scenario. I'm going to show you guys how you can break through that. If you want to build a mindset and beliefs that allow you to push through even when times get tough, because that was a thing for me. I felt soft. I felt like I didn't have enough discipline. I'm going to show you guys how you build a mindset and beliefs that will allow you to break through that and make it effortless. If you're looking for a blueprint to eliminate your inconsistent dieting and training to create a sustainable, healthy lifestyle, not some quick fad to lose a couple pounds and then gain it right back when you get done, right? I'm talking about sustainability, creating a lifestyle of looking and feeling your best. I'm going to show you guys exactly how to do that. Who this is not for. So if you're just looking for a quick fix, a quick way to get shredded, this is not for you. You can click off the video. If you want a way to lose fat and build muscle, or you're only wanting to lose fat and build muscle, and you think that you can do that without leveling up your discipline, your mindset, your focus, or your willpower, this is not for you, right? You cannot get to your goals physique. This stuff is more mental than it is physical, right? A lot of people think, oh, it's just physical, getting in great shape. It is more mental than it is physical. I suggest you actually try this without trying to level up your mindset. And once you fail, then come back to this video and watch it. And also, if you're fad diet hopping, if you can't stick to something for longer than 2 weeks and you're not willing to make changes to your lifestyle, your habits, or even make sacrifices, because you will need to make sacrifices to get to your goals, if you're not willing to do that, this is not for you. And if you're not wanting to put in, if you're only wanting to put in the bare minimum to effort to achieve your dream physique, I'm sorry, but this is not for you. Because here's the truth. Is most people think two things. They either think that at first getting in shape is going to be easy. It's going to be a piece of cake. They start out super optimistic. They hop on a diet. They're overconfident. And then quickly they realize it's a lot harder than they thought. And after failing, they now believe the exact opposite. They think it's impossible to get into great shape. And they think it's a life-consuming endeavor to get their dream physique. When in reality, that's simply not true. They're just focusing on the wrong things. You guys think that getting in a really good shape is way harder than it actually is. And so what you need is a meal plan that's simple, it's sustainable, it's comprised of quality whole foods that you actually enjoy, fill you up, and give you energy. I see too many people how they eat a meal and then they have to go sit on the couch because the meal made them tired. And it's like, food is supposed to give you energy, not make you tired. It doesn't make any sense. So a training plan that maximizes muscle growth as well as fat loss with efficiency. So you're not spending hours in the gym. I don't want to live in the gym. I want to focus on the most impactful training and diet techniques so I can have that efficiency. So I don't have to spend a ton of time and I can live life outside just the gym and meal prepping, all that bull crap, right? Simple daily habits that make staying lean effortless. Something you can fall back on when times get tough to keep you on track to stay in good shape once you're in good shape. So I'm not going to let that happen to you. You don't have to worry about playing the guessing game with your fitness goals anymore, wondering whether you're doing the right workouts or you're eating the right foods. You only need to stick to a few high leverage habits that are proven, that will get you results and will guarantee your dream body if you stick to them. Because this Tristan was trying so hard to get in great shape. He was just focusing on the wrong things, right? And once I learned to focus on the right high leverage habits, I learned getting in shape is not as hard as it's made out to be. You just need to focus on the right things. And it's a lot of things that people gloss over because it's so simple. And when I explain it to you guys, you're going to be like, wow, I already knew that, but now I actually know this is what I need to do, and I can cut out all the BS that I've been doing. Because that's what I was doing. I was doing a lot of stuff here, but most of it was bull crap. because it was stuff I saw on the internet, stuff that I thought was giving me results, but in reality, it was just wasting my time and distracting me from what truly matters. So I'm going to show you guys exactly what truly matters. And if you want that person to be you, I'm going to show you guys exactly how I built more muscle and lost more fat, spending less time in the gym, how I destroyed my mental barriers with a simple accountability system that I made and got me to my dream physique, but also got me my dream life. I'm living in Thailand. I'm able to travel. I'm able to eat things and great foods that I love. And I'm able to spend time doing things that I love to do as well. I can consistently progress towards my fitness goals, all while working 8 hours from a desk. So after you watch this video and I explain things, you're not going to have the excuse of, I don't have time to go work out, because it's so simple that there's no excuse to not have time. All right. And also how I created my dream physique, continuing to eat and do the things that I love and enjoy in life, like I said. So before I get into the breakdown, in case you don't know me, here's a really quick brief backstory so you guys know how I got here. Because I grew up super skinny, but I was really active. And I had just really no muscle mass, and I always wanted to gain muscle. Like, people would call me a twig, and I was super self-conscious because I was a twig. I was that awkward, weird cross-country runner with absolutely no muscle. I was decently good at sports, and when I was 15, they had us start weightlifting, and I started eating more food. I started putting on some weight, but obviously most of it was fat, and I didn't know how to diet. I didn't know how to train properly, and through sports, magically, just me being super active and playing a ton of sports, I got really lean. And I learned to diet, just mainly just cutting calories and eating protein shakes. I was not doing it the right way, but somehow I got in amazing shape. And this was my senior year. And the thing was, after I graduated, I didn't create any good habits with diet. I was just outworking them. And so what happens with a lot of people is they have the freshman 15. I didn't go into college, but I gained so much weight because I was stopped being active. I basically quit the gym and I focused all my efforts into making money, and I traded just my health in general just for more money. And I ate whatever I want. I neglected my health, and I fell down this rabbit hole. And I remember taking this picture, and that was kind of my breaking point. And so this is when I started my YouTube channel, and I decided, okay, I'm living alone. I don't really have anything to hold me accountable. Let me start a YouTube channel so I can hold myself accountable by posting videos, so I can secure, like, okay, if people are going to watch me, I have to do this, right? So I wanted to document my journey back to getting into the best shape of my life. And it was the best thing I could have ever done, because that accountability allowed me to find these habits. And through trial and error, I found the most effective diet and training plan. And this is when I learned the 80-20 principle. And so this is what my entire training philosophy is based off of, is that there's 20% of efforts that you can put into the gym and also diet that will give you 80% of the results. And this principle happens everywhere in life, right? Like, think about learning a language. If you learn a language, there's 20% of the words in that language that will get you to understand 80% of the language, right? There's so many words, but you just have to understand the basic words to understand the rest of the language. They also, like, the book talks about how in a business, 80% of that business's revenue comes from 20% of the customers that buy from them. And so I thought, okay, if that applies to everything else in life, it has to apply to fitness, and it has to apply to training and a diet. So I just need to figure out what that 20% of things are that will give me more results. And so that's what I'm decided to break down for you guys, and how I created the 360 protocol. So this is a system that I've built from my own trial and error, trying countless diets, cutting, bulking, spending thousands of dollars on programs, testing various training methods, all to find the best and most effective methods for losing fat and building muscle, and without sacrificing doing and eating the things I love, right? Now I've decided to break it down for you guys so you understand everything and can see everything that I've learned over this time. So all for free, I'm going to break it down, the 360 protocol, how you guys can achieve 80% of results with 20% of the effort, right? You just need to focus on the right things. Number one, that's setting proper targets and an actionable path. Number two, it's mastering the basics, sticking to the basics so you can maximize the leverage. Number three is discipline reframe. Mastering your mindset, right? Creating that discipline so you can stick to the things that will get you to your goals. Number 4 is 10x intensity, 100x recovery. You can't train your best if you don't recover properly, right? So number 1 is setting proper targets and an actionable plan. And before you guys go click off the video and think, oh, he's just going to talk about setting goals. Well, why do you think that you don't get to your fitness goals? And this is something that I struggled with when I started. I realized, okay, I want to get in better shape, but what does better shape mean to me? Is it tangible? Is better shape tangible? Is it meaningful to me? Why is it meaningful? I didn't have any goals, and no wonder that I failed from the start, because without setting a target or a plan, you are set up to fail from the start. Unless you know, like on a treasure map, unless you know where the treasure is, how are you supposed to find it? How are you supposed to know where to go? And so you need to figure out exactly what you want and why you want it. And I know this sounds kind of boring and basic, but the thing is, this is going to be the main thing that gets you to your goals, because you don't know how to create an actionable plan and actionable steps unless you know where you want to go. So the first thing is, I sat down and I created 3 chief aims, 3 goals, and I cut everything else out, right? These revolved around fitness, and it revolved around my life, me making money, getting in better shape, and I made them specific, and I wrote a paragraph on why I wanted to achieve this thing, because why it was meaningful to me. Because number 1, if you guys set meaningful goals, if it means something to you, you're going to be able to sacrifice more and go through more hardship to get to that goal. If I don't care about getting to my goals, do you think I'm going to want to wake up at 5 a.m. to go do cardio to get to that goal? No, I'm not. I'm going to hit the alarm button. And that's probably what you guys do, because your goals don't actually mean anything to you, and they're not specific. And so once you have these goals, you can create 6 daily non-negotiables. So these are things that are the biggest needle movers that you guys can make. So think about, okay, this is my goal. What are things that I can do on a day-to-day basis that will get me closer to my goal? And so I started writing them down. And I started writing them down in my journal that I would do every single day. I planned them on my calendar. And I also built a routine that would allow these 6 daily non-negotiables to get done. And so every day, as long as I did these non-negotiables, I knew that I was getting closer to my goals. Right? And I know this doesn't specifically apply to just fitness, but if you apply it to fitness, you will get to your goals closer every single day. I have cardio and I have calories on here and my workout. That always will get me closer to my goals. And so as long as I do that, I know I'm getting closer to my goals. And so I eventually switched over to Notion, and that's allowed me to create a routine. I just have a checklist, but you guys can use a notebook for this as well. And so this is super simple. The thing is, fitness, I try to simplify it as much as possible, which is kind of the next side, is mastering the basics. You can maximize your leverage because less is more. I simplify both my training and nutrition. So when it comes to training and nutrition, it's quality over quantity. I focus on intensity and lowering the volume, which means less sets. But when I do a set, I'm going all out to failure, balls to the wall, right? I don't want to go into the gym and be on my phone. People wonder why, oh, you spend 45 minutes in the gym. How do you see so much gains? Well, it's because I'm not sitting on my phone scrolling Instagram while I'm in the gym. It's because I'm working hard. So you guys need to be intentional when you go into the gym. I just do a 5-day split, right? There's no need to do a crazy amount of working out because I value rest, and I'm going to get into that later, more than like let's say you are at 100% at one day, you lift your max weight. You go to the gym next week because you didn't rest at all. You go at 90%. Do you think you're going to be able to progressive overload? You're not going to be able to lift more weight that next week because you're not at 100%. So rest is so important, and that's why I do a 5-day split. I do upper body, lower body, rest day, push, pull legs, rest day. When it comes to cardio, I think if you want to cut a lot of weight, you can do cardio, but all I did was I did 10K steps per day. That's the only thing I worried about. I want to simplify fitness. I realized, okay, I'm working a desk job. No wonder I'm not moving throughout the entire day. I'm just sitting at my desk. So the only time that I was getting steps was while I was in the gym. And so what I did was I opened up my health app and I realized I'm only getting 2,500 steps a day on average in the month of May. And so as soon as I realized this, I fixed it. I started getting more steps, and as soon as I started getting more steps, I felt better, I had more energy, I could eat more food, and I was losing fat. Imagine that. You're able to eat more food and lose more fat. All because, and this is not doing cardio at all, it's just going on walks after I eat. I just did a 10-minute walk after I ate every day. On my break, I just take a walk. And in the morning, I'd take a walk, and afternoon, I'd take a walk. And I eventually got up to 10,000 steps a day. And I was able to up my calories by 300 or 400 calories, eat more food, and still be in a deficit losing fat. And when it came to diet, I focused on only whole foods. So I cut out pretty much all the processed foods. I'm not fully against processed foods, but if you guys just eat whole foods that are nutrient dense and have a balance of macros, I guarantee you're going to be able to eat less foods. They're more satiating. You're going to feel better. You're not going to be tired after you eat foods. And just prioritize. And they're a lot simpler too. You don't have to mix a bunch of ingredients. It's just cook eggs, rice, ground beef. It's so simple. And so if you prioritize high protein meals that are easy to make and lower in calories, I guarantee you're going to get in better shape. This is all I did. And this is not some crazy diet technique or plan. I've tried all of those. I've tried 1 meal per day. I've tried keto. And the thing with those is they're too complicated. They're too complex. I can't stick to them. And they also mess up your hormones. So this is something I had to learn the hard way. I did keto for months on months on months. And I felt good, but when I got my blood work done, my testosterone was in the trash. I think it was 300 and something. And as soon as I went back to a balanced diet, my testosterone went up to 700 plus. I think it was 760. So it over doubled my testosterone just adding in carbohydrates back into my diet. So I liked keto for the fact that it kept my mental clarity good, but it wasn't worth it because it wasn't giving me the adequate energy and nutrition, and it was messing up my hormones. So that's something to really keep in mind with these type of diets that are super restrictive. They could be messing up stuff inside your body that you might not feel, but it's going on inside your body. All right. So that's why I think it's important to get kind of a blood test and figure out what actually is going inside your body. When it comes to discipline, all right, your mind is so important. And the thing is, discipline is not obtained. It's built. Huge changes are not sustainable. 1% improvements are. And why I have make shit easy AF is because how you make yourself more prone to getting to your goals is you make them easier. And how you make falling away from your goals, you make them harder. All the things that are detrimental to your success, you make them harder to do. And all the things that push you forward to your goals, you make them easier to do. And just by simple math, like just simple, I guess, what's the word? Logic, simple logic. That's the word I'm looking for. I'm blanking. That's going to get you closer to your goals quicker. And so if you want to cut out bad food, don't buy the bad food. Don't have it in your house. Go to the store on a full stomach so that you buy only healthy food. And when you cut out bad habits, you need to replace them with good ones. I would try to cut out these bad habits out of my life, junk food, TV, my phone, and I wouldn't replace them with anything. I would just try to cut them out and I'd have nothing. And the thing was, I would always go back to these bad habits because I didn't replace them with anything. In the Bible, it talks about how if you sweep a demon out of a house, a new one will take its place unless it's replaced. So what you need to do is once you sweep that bad habit out of your life, you need to replace it with a positive habit, a good habit, like reading for me. When my phone, I wanted to get off social media, right? I replaced it with a book. Because if you guys tell your friends, like, I want to quit drinking, I'm not going to go out and drink with you guys tonight. And then you sit home and you scroll social media and you look at all your friends having fun, you just replaced that drinking habit with another bad habit of scrolling on social media, and now you feel even worse. And the next time your friends ask you if you want to go out and drink, you're going to say yes, because the last time you didn't, you felt even worse. All right? And so if you replace that bad habit, right, drinking, with going to the gym, going on a walk, reading a book, learning a skill, right, getting something closer to your goals or doing something closer that gets you to your goals, that is way better than just removing the habit in general, because another bad habit is going to take its place. So when it comes to accountability and discipline, this is a huge one. Don't just cut out the bad habits. replace them with better ones. Don't just cut out bad food, replace it with good food that's quality that you actually enjoy, like fruits, right? Cut the candy out and put in fruits that you love, like raspberries, berries, something that tastes good, all right? Honey. Stop making excuses and really take accountability over your actions, right? You have to look in the mirror and really think about, okay, I am at where I'm at because of all the actions I've taken to get to this point. When you start doing that, you take accountability for your actions in the future. And so take accountability for your actions in the past so you can do the same for the future. A big one for me is I realized that all my good days that I stuck to my nutrition, my workouts, my eating, like all the days that were amazing for me, they had one thing in common. It was that I stuck to my morning routine and I woke up early. I got out of bed and I did the things that I needed to do. All the bad days, they had the same thing in common as well. I slept in, I hit my alarm, I ate bad food in the morning, I scrolled on social media as soon as I woke up. And I realized all I have to do is create a morning routine that puts me in the frequency that will set the standard for the rest of the day. So what I started doing was I woke up early and I created a morning routine. And this is one of those Ashton Hall crazy ass morning routines that has ice bath and all this. No, none of that at all. I just did 50 push-ups, I did a cold shower, and I read a book, and I did my cardio. Like, it was very simple stuff and things that put me in a high frequency state to go set up the rest of my day. I did one thing that was hard to do for me, because if I do 50 push-ups in the morning, obviously I don't want to wake up at 5 a.m. and do 50 push-ups or take a cold shower. But the thing was, it gives you some type of energy after you complete something difficult that will set up the rest of the day to be amazing. All right. And I also learned to say no, because no is one of the most powerful words you guys can use, because most people don't get to their goals because they can't say no to the bad food. They can't say no to going and drinking with their friends. And this goes bad with cutting out bad habits and replacing them with good ones. Say no. If you guys learn to say no to the bad things, right, you guys are going to progress in life so much more. And this was hard for me to do, to say no to going out and eating with my friends or my family, or doing something I know I shouldn't be doing. Once you learn to say no, that will change your life, all right? Last one, I just have, like, read books and really surround yourself with people who are like-minded, that will get you closer to your goals as well, because the people around you are a reflection of you. So these are guys that I met in sales, and I worked with them, and they're all way older than me. They're in their late 20s and 30s, and this is just a 19-year-old. And so being around people like this who are where I want to be, making the money I want to make, they have the physiques that I want, because some of these guys were professional bodybuilders. Those are the people that you want to be around. So last one, I want to share with you guys 10x intensity, 100x recovery. I take recovery so important. You know why? It's because I love to train hard in the gym, and I want to train hard every single time I go, because it's quality over quantity, like I said before. When you go into the gym, as long as you have recovered properly, you can go all out. If you haven't recovered properly, how are you supposed to have an all-out workout? Muscles don't grow in the gym. The harder I trained, the less I needed to train more, and the more I needed rest I needed. So your muscles are growing outside the gym. So as long as you really take your intensity as hard as possible, you don't have to go to the gym as much. The reason I'm able to go to the gym less than people and see more results is because I just work harder than them. I train harder, I train to failure, and I think there's two things that goes into training. Proximity to failure, which means how close you can get to absolute failure, and progressive overload. Going into the gym day after day after day and progressing on your lifts, right? Week after week. It won't go up every single day, but it'll go up every single week. Fatigue. This is one that happened to me. Is I was waking up at 5 a.m. every single day. I was doing my cardio, I was doing my workouts every single day, training twice a day, doing Muay Thai. I had this buildup of fatigue, this debt buildup. And over months, I had brain fog, I had low energy. I thought I just was needing to work harder, and I just had to push through it because I needed to be more disciplined. And this gave me less results in the gym. I realized recovery is honestly more important than building a super disciplined, work harder mindset, because I was doing detrimental to myself because my workouts in the gym became worse, all right? And so I focused on getting 7 to 9 hours of sleep, quality sleep. And how I did that was I used a breathe right nose strip, right? I set a bedtime So when I had to go to bed, dependent on like basically instead of an alarm clock, it's a bedtime clock. I also supplemented with magnesium and electrolytes before I went to bed, so I didn't have to pee in the middle of the night. I started foam rolling, stretching, sauna when you can, and a combination of this stuff allowed me to have awesome recovery and be able to train as hard as possible in the gym, right? And 2 active rest days per week. And then I don't do just sit on the couch rest days. Low stress movement. Your body needs blood flow to recover. Your body's not recovering as well as if you did a little bit of exercise. So I go on walks. I try to get more steps on my rest days. And when I say rest days, I mean mobility and still moving, not sitting on the couch. A rest day is always an active rest day. I don't do a rest day, sit on the couch. I do a rest day, go on a walk, you know? So that is how I recover to my maximum capability so I can train to my maximum capacity the next workout. And so that's why I think so much. And if you guys get this in your head, where you put your effort is more important than how much effort you put in. It's what you guys are putting the effort into that is going to give you the results. Because I used to grind for hours in the gym. I'd overthink my diet. I'd chase unsustainable methods, only to feel stuck and frustrated when I didn't see results. I was doing too much of what didn't matter and ignored what actually did matter because it felt too simple. All the things that will give you guys the most results, you are overlooking right now because they are so basic that they're boring, right? Everybody online preaches the niche things, the optimal time to do your cardio, the optimal time to get your protein in, how much protein you need per meal. You don't need any of that. You need to stick to the high leverage habits. You forget about doing 10K steps per day. You forget about just having quality foods that are satiating. You forget about the law of thermodynamics, right? The basics. And once I reprogrammed my mindset and doubled down on the basics, that's when everything changed for me. That's when I started skyrocketing my results. And you saw my step count. As soon as that went up, that's when I saw progress. I started getting better results with less effort. And it wasn't about what I was missing. It was about cutting out the distractions and what was holding me back, all right? What actually didn't matter. Now I have my dream physique and I still get to enjoy the foods that I want and the activities that I want. That I love because simplicity always wins. I'm telling you guys this. Go back to the basics. Simplicity will get you so much further than any niche training or diet technique. And trust me, I've tried them all. So now that you guys understand exactly how this process works, I have an offer for you. If you are like me and you're stuck seeing little to no results despite how much effort you're giving, right? You're discontent with your current physique and know that you have more to give, but you're done settling for that average body, that average mind, that average life, and you're ready to finally see your true potential and unlock those 6-pack abs. You want to simplify fitness. You want to see more results by doing so and create that lifestyle that you enjoy, looking and feeling your best. And you want to take yourself and transform from that really average physique, low motivation, low energy, really lost, and take yourself into the person that you actually want to be, your dream physique, right? The head turning physique, high confidence, high motivation. And you want to fast track your results to get to see the same exact results I saw. I invite you guys to schedule a one-on-one call with me below in the description. You guys can book a call with me. We can get one-on-one coaching where I will show you guys how to fast track your results so you can see the same exact results that I saw in a much quicker time frame. And I'll show you the exact steps on how to get there. So if that sounds like something that you guys are interested in and you feel like you have what it takes to hop on this journey with me and you want to fast track your results, then book a call below. I'm looking forward to speaking with some of you guys. And I hope you took as much value as you could from this video. Rewatch it if you guys want to as many times. And I appreciate all you guys for watching. Looking forward to speaking with some of you guys on the phone. Again, links in description. And we'll talk soon. Peace.